Cindy's out,
I know,
out.
I know.
and then the other Patrick is that together.
Patrick might zoom in.
Patrick zoomed in.
He zoomed in and Rick, maybe. Okay,
All set, Madam Chair.
thank you. So today is Tuesday, December 19th, 1 o'clock. This is the Town of Waterville Valley Conservation Commission. Okay, can we have a quick roll call? Want to start?
Paul Ricotta, alternate.
Charles Hastings, member.
Eric Levy, Chair.
Jenny Lucas, member?
Rebecca Hastings, member. There's Rick.
Ah. And Patrick is here.
Trying to connect with the audio right now.
Okay.
Hi, folks.
Hi, Rick.
Hi,
Nice
Rick.
to see you.
Good to see you in a Zoom kind of way, you know?
Yes. Okay. So before we go and review and approve minutes from months ago, if Rick is ready, we can talk about our update on the Snowsbrook project.
All
If
right.
you're ready.
Absolutely. Good to see everybody. I have spoken with Brooke Brown a couple of times, and they are moving ahead according to what information that they have received from Mark. Now, is Mark, I don't know if he's around, but he has also spoken with Brooke about ways in which this project can happen, easements that may need to take place relative to the condo association to address a liability concern, right? Just in case the stuff that we do happens to flood the banks over by the condo association, which of course it won't. I mean, I don't believe it would, based on the fact that what we're intending to do is to actually remove that threat. And the good news, Landon Grachowski, who's their hydrogeologist, has approved it.
Oh, very good.
Excellent.
And Mark, why am I blanking on his last name? Who is their fisheries biologist, who's familiar with the site, will probably be stepping in for a January 19th site walk
Oh,
with Brooke and possibly one other Forest Service staff member from construction and maintenance, myself, and whoever on the commission would be interested in attending. That's January 19th. And all she wanted me to do was find out from you all whether morning or afternoon would be better. She's got the whole day free.
do we have anything on the 19th?
Let me get back to you on that day, morning or afternoon.
This will be after sunrise.
It's a Friday.
Yes, preferably.
Well, I would say morning,
You would say,
but
I have a doctor's appointment in Boston at 1:30, so I would need early morning.
Early
but I don't have to
morning.
be.
Okay.
we could aim for morning. You'd have to leave
Tentatively morning
Next
sounds.
week,
Yeah,
I like
actually.
morning.
Friday.
8:30.
Okay. All right, terrific. And again, the purpose would be for her benefit, for primarily review the 5-part proposal that I submitted last year and was and updated this year. That at least 3 components of that, because the upper reaches we really don't need to take a look at. They're more or less standard, what we call chop and drop stream habitat restoration actions. The lower one, I should say the lower set are the more critical ones. And that's, again, creating a diversion over bank flow ditch at the bend so that that water, the flood waters, drop back onto the floodplain that used to receive those waters, but have been disconnected because of down wasting of the bank, the incising of the bank. And so those are the real critical areas to take a look at on January 19th. Second on that agenda for that meeting would be discussing how it's actually going to take place. And here again, Mark has had conversations where, according to Brooke, he said that the town has money to do this, to actually do the construction, which was news to me because I had assumed we were going to seek outside grant funding to perform these tasks or use current maintenance and construction monies from the Forest Service to complete those tasks. So that's news to me. And that's why I was wondering if Mark was around, because I want to hear that from the horse's mouth kind of thing.
Right, that was one of my questions too, if you had any information on the grants.
Yeah, so I did research the two possibilities that we had talked about last year. One was the Regional Conservation Partnership Program grants, the RCPP through the NRCS. And that, as I suspected, can only be expended on private land. So that one's out. The other one is the Aquatic Resource Mitigation Fund, and I believe that that is still possible, but it would have to be the town applying for those funds, which is again no problem because that's the intent of those monies. But whether or not actions can be expended on federal land is still in question. I have not heard back from those folks yet. But in any case, they're both, well, certainly most of these are matching fund programs anyway, so some town funds would be required. And those are just the two that I've looked into that I said I would. So we'll see. Again, it's one of the big questions, not that I think it's an exhaustive budget that's required. We're talking about probably 2 or 3 personnel for a couple of days to get this done, maybe 3 days total. Then there's some soil stabilization actions and monitoring that would be required after that initial construction time period. So, as far as I can tell, it's not an overly onerous budget, and with the goal, obviously, of saving the town money in the long term.
Okay.
Rick, I'm a little unclear, in terms of what you described as construction costs.
Yep.
In addition to the labor of actually going in and cutting, do you need to have improved access in some way to get up there? What sort of construction, so-called, are we talking about here?
So the primary action is use of an excavator, right? And that's going to be, preferably a 20-foot to 25-foot arm excavator. When Landon and I walked up there, we sort of poked along a route that seemed suitable, that didn't require a lot of trees to be cut, and a route that would actually entail some of the ditch work in the floodplain area. And so we need to snake that excavator up to the bank at the bend where that island split is, where there's a natural braid. We need to take out the bank and ditch it backwards roughly. I think it was about 150 feet, if my memory serves. And then reconnect a lower spot using the excavator to an overflow channel that is pre-existing, but has again been disconnected because the stream bank has been eroded down. So those two actions coming off of that trail are really the primary ones. Other than that, we can use handwork for dropping wood, moving wood into place, and providing some of those upstream actions that are part of the plan.
I assume if you're facing upstream, you'd want to be going in on the left side.
That's
left-
correct. That's correct. Did you
Yeah.
see the plan at all?
I've looked at it and
Yeah.
I've also sort of walked through that over the last several years. There are
Right.
some fairly viable ways of going up there, at least for quite a ways.
Yes, yes, I think it's a doable thing, at least what we've proposed. And, it's one of those things where, the plan is to, engage those actions, monitor it, and see if more actions are required. And that would possibly entail additional woody debris drops upstream on some of the lateral tributaries, right? We've got at least 4 that are perennial that are, bringing water into the Snowsbrook main stem. And if we hit those, we can also slow water down as it hits the main stem. So.
All right, a small question, perhaps Steve can help us with this. Did the town set aside $50,000 a year or so ago?
Yeah, we have until December 31st, 2024 to
Okay,
expend those funds.
so perhaps that's the funding that
money.
Mark was referring to.
And then that was gonna be complemented by another $50,000 to a grant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was more than 50 that the town approved.
50 and 50 on the grant and 50 that was from
Oh,
general taxation.
okay.
So the question is, what grant are we eligible for?
That was prior to Steve working for the town. I
Okay,
don't know the name of the grant, but I know of its existence. Yeah.
all right, so
Yep.
you heard that answer, right? So we
Okay.
approved of 50,000,
It was a match, so 50,000.
Yeah.
all right.
Well, if it's a match, then we have to have the grant.
Yeah, if we don't get a
Good to
grant, we
know.
don't.
Is that right? If we don't get the grant, then we don't have the 50?
Match it.
We have the grant.
Oh, we have the grant?
Yep.
Okay,
What grant do we have?
He
I
doesn't,
don't know the name of it.
okay, we have a,
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what Mark is
So
referring to.
that's-
Oh.
So there we go. There's 100,000. That ought to cover it.
right, 50 plus 50?
That's correct.
Are you
It's awesome.
covered? Are you covered now?
Yeah, no, that's great. So then, some of those details in terms of what staff requirements from the Forest Service will be required to review and attend construction and monitor it. Because that's, those are some of the just the details. The money was the big one, getting that into place. The plan has been approved. So then it's just working out the logistics.
Sounds great. Now barring any snowstorms, I mean, we want the snowstorms.
Yeah, this will be
Yeah.
on snowshoes, right? We'll be
yeah,
up on
that'd be
snowshoes.
nice.
We
I
want
love
the
that.
snowstorms, but not on that day.
Yeah, they're not creating a water ski park in Waterville, I don't think.
No,
Wow.
something to think about, yeah.
Could have.
That was rough.
yesterday, I guess,
Mhm.
huh?
Yeah, did you guys have much for road washouts or culvert takeouts at all?
Road doesn't look too
Two
good.
roads were impacted. Triple I towards the Mad River Bridge, we lost about 3 to 4 feet of one side of that road, and then Snows Mountain Road, which we did an overlay on this
Oh,
year.
yeah.
thank
Yeah,
God.
Yeah.
just the,
Yeah.
yeah,
We didn't, that road would have been completely washed out, but
Right.
we saw a driveway get destroyed and some sides of the road up on the very top of Snows Mountain was impacted, but besides that, thank God we did all that road construction this year because
yeah.
we really
Yeah.
lucked out.
Yes,
We have
Oh,
a
that's
small
great.
patch on Moon
Yeah.
Peak Road that washed.
And then we-
Yeah,
yeah, that's a rough road too.
they've got cones up there. It's one lane.
Mm,
How about that culvert that we crossed, remember last year going into the new house site that was undersized, looked to be undersized and was filling with sediment? Did that do
yeah,
okay?
I was about to check on it and
Don't know.
I got distracted,
Was
yeah.
that on Cascade Ridge?
No, I think
No.
that's the
No.
one on Loop Cross Country Trail, the Younts property
Yeah,
that we walked by.
Yeah.
I haven't been back there yet to
Yeah.
see, because it was probably impassable yesterday.
yeah,
Yeah, by Golden Heights. I was,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's on the list, on the list.
on the list, yeah. Well, that would, that'll be our primary access point for equipment, so,
Right. All right, I'll get back to you on that.
all right, sounds good.
Yep.
Anything else?
Golden Heights, okay. Anything else?
Looking forward to seeing you in January.
Oh,
Rick.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, let's,
AIA,
let's hope
Oh,
for a
yeah.
good day.
February
Yeah, February is AIA.
Well, February is it?
and
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see
January.
Jack-
Oh, yeah, January and then February. Yeah, February, we get that nice show warrants, we get the poster
Yeah.
I was looking at. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
looking
looks
good.
All right, if
Okay.
there are no other questions, then you are dismissed.
All right, I am dismissed.
Jack.
Good. All right, take care, folks. Have a good holiday.
Thank you so much.
You too.
You betcha. All right.
All right. So
Minutes.
glad.
Minutes.
The minutes, yes, we can go and review approved minutes of August 30 and notes from October 25. Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah.
Jesus.
For some reason, we couldn't review minutes on our field trip.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so we missed that. It's been a while since I looked at it, but they looked fine when I did review them. Everyone
Yeah, I
okay?
think we did that ahead of time. So
Yeah,
We looked at them so long ago.
I know.
forgot.
Go,
So
yeah.
I think
I
it's
think
fine.
they're fine.
Fine.
So do you
Move to
want,
approve.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Any opposed? Passed. Excellent. Okay,
Megan disappeared again, huh?
yeah, she's probably right outside, but, next topic is Greenbelt signs. So before we forget, Steve, do you have any updates on that extra small sign? No,
Two, there were gonna be two.
two extra?
We were gonna get two. One is an extra and one to put up.
Oh, a spare
A
and one to
spare.
put up.
That's
Okay.
probably not a bad idea, the
That is
way
a good
things
idea.
disappear in this valley.
But we already approved it.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't remember
Yeah.
that.
So,
So we've asked for two extra small signs.
just like the ones that we had.
The
The
ones-
green, the
little
one
round
with the
ones.
logo,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you need
yeah,
one.
just
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
So if you can put an order in for that.
Sure.
And then I think Megan wasn't able to put up the large sign because it snowed and
Probably
froze.
not.
I'm pretty sure it's up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
I spoke to her this morning because I was reviewing the agenda with her and she said that they were able to get that in the ground.
Oh, it was
wow.
55 degrees yesterday, maybe.
Yeah.
Used a jackhammer.
Yeah,
Wasn't that frozen?
Well, maybe they did it in time that it
Yes.
wasn't frozen. yet.
Okay, so I
Ah,
guess
well, we
I
need to
guess
take a
we
walk.
definitely need to take a walk and
Yeah,
You should get out,
yeah, instead of,
instead of
whatever we do.
driving to Booth Bay Harbor.
well, that would help, yes, and then inviting company to stay for. Oh,
Yes, okay.
okay,
There is okay, the next item is the update on the
treatment plant.
treatment plant and water lines. So Steve, did Mark leave you any comments to make on the updates for that?
I can share with you what I know. Is there something specific that you were looking for
Um,
with respect to the treatment plant or just kind of a general?
Actually, Mark is the one who requested that I put it on the agenda.
Okay.
And I do have a question from two residents in town.
Sure.
I don't know if you can answer this, but
Okay,
the
sure.
question is, what is the mountain paying if the town treats their waste?
But we're not,
So this is assuming that
we're not going to be treated.
the mountain was to discuss with the town if they were going to continue with septic or pipe in to the new lines.
Okay, so just an overview of that.
Yeah, Okay.
Mark and Dylan had a meeting with the US Forest Service on Friday to talk a little bit about the septic system design up at the mountain. The US Forest Service wasn't overly receptive to the idea of having a septic system designed up at
Oh.
the mountain,
Okay,
which was a little
okay, good.
surprising to us. We thought there was more coordination between the resort and the US Forest Service.
Mm.
Yeah.
In any event, I believe the outcome of that meeting is gonna be another meeting to kind of, fine tune.
Come on, guys, are you
I
sure?
Yeah, it wasn't very positive, so.
Yeah,
But we're gonna try to work with them on, showing them that this septic system is a better alternative than having to go back and dig up all the earth all the way back up to the mountain where
Yeah.
that line exists and putting in a new one.
Oh.
So it's not totally out the window, but we didn't get the
Mm,
blessing that we were hoping for.
wow,
So. With respect to the design of the new plant, if you're looking for an update there.
Yeah.
We have a proposal that we're gonna be giving the board on Thursday for our new engineering company to do the design of the plant. At least an initial proposal, so they'll be looking at that on Thursday and hopefully approving it so we can. Once again, move forward with the design of the new plant.
And we have contracted with a new engineering firm. then?
Black and Beach.
yeah,
Okay, that's done.
so
Yes.
we've signed, we've negotiated and
Okay.
signed or not quite yet?
Not signed, they're gonna look at that proposal on Thursday
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully enter into our initial contract.
Okay,
They've been
What-
doing some preliminary work for us.
And had the previous firm come up with a design? Weren't we paying them to do that?
Yeah, so they provided a 30% complete and a 60% basis of design report to the town. It was when they gave us the 90 and the state looked at their 90% and they said,
Mm-mm.
this isn't gonna work, so.
Oh.
It was partial, Charles, and I know that Black and Beach did look at their work. And I don't think any engineering firm would overstamp a
Mhm.
stamp of a previous firm, so I
Yeah.
don't think there's a lot that they could take some out of it, but. Yeah, I think what if I recall correctly, they're basically starting at 30 again,
mhm,
so.
it's okay.
The water project, I don't know if that's the water lines that you're referring to.
Yes.
The water project is complete, the generator is working, everything is running as it should over there. There was a light on that water treatment building too, that we modified because it was an annoyance to some of our residents.
I used to see that in the morning. I'd
Oh.
I'd walk my dogs there in the dark and I was like, oh, that's a bright light.
Yeah.
But I don't live over there, so.
So that was kind of like the bow on the
Right.
present of that project, so we're happy that that's being on this.
Did any of the flooding affect our water, our building on connector?
A little bit, the water treatment plant.
Yeah,
A little bit. We had some water in the basement.
Mm.
Some water bubbling up through one of the manholes over there. The access road to the treatment plant has been pretty much washed out.
washed out.
So we're gonna have to rebuild that road.
Mhm.
And I know that the guys were going down to well number 4 today to do some assessment up there.
Oof,
I've heard that that path, basically to where that beaver dam existed, is basically gone.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can imagine.
oh. Here comes Megan if you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I think she has.
So there's not
salt
much
that
hope
Jeff-
for our Esker Brook Bridge.
Which, just in time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry, roads, never ending.
Oh my
Right.
gosh. I know.
Yeah, we were just talking about the washed out road towards your water treatment plant.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, hopefully we'll get that filled in a bit. What are we on?
Well, as long as the board is okay with moving on to the deed.
Well, did the sign get finished?
The sign.
oh, the sign.
Is up, yes.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Nice.
last week.
Thank you, Megan.
wow,
Okay.
excellent. No problems, right?
No problem. No,
Wow.
we did 4x4 wood, painted with green so it matches the street signs in town as well.
Okay.
And bolted it right to it.
Oh, very nice.
Did you take a photo?
I did not take a photo.
Too busy.
I can't, we're dealing with a lot.
How deep did you go?
I'd have to ask the guys,
Okay,
Just curious. Sorry.
they had 10-foot posts,
Okay.
so.
well, this is good.
Whatever's above ground,
Several-
bring your tape measure.
Yeah.
Right, several reasons to go visit the site.
Many reasons.
Yes, excellent. Okay,
Great, thank you very much.
thank you for that. Are we ready to talk about the salting of the roads?
Yeah,
Yes.
so I sent that email just because it's something that's been on my mind for a few years.
Mhm.
And I just didn't know if anyone else on the board had ever thought about it and
It's been
had
discussed.
any concerns
Yeah.
or anything
We
like
obsess
that.
on
Yeah,
And then Megan put together this amazing chart and
Hmm.
information about historical use and
Yeah, that's,
everything. So I don't know if everyone's had a chance to read that, but
Yeah, so I just kind of went through all the records that I had available to me. Unfortunately, it only went back to 2010, so that's all I can give you. But then, you know, we had a population of just over 200 and we utilized, 403 tons of salt. And we've kept that trend pretty steady. We've only used, last year was almost 600 tons of salt, with a much higher population. So we haven't increased our salt usage at all. and We've used the same company for the past,
Hmm.
14 years now? Almost 2024, 14 years. Hasn't changed at all. We always get it from Portsmouth. Comes right off the ships,
Oh,
gets
yeah.
dumped in Portsmouth, and it gets hauled into trucks and shipped out to.
Mhm.
The state uses them, and then other municipalities use them. There's other companies like Warren Salt, and things like that, but we do not utilize them. We utilize the same thing that the state does. So. The type of salt hasn't changed at all. There's no chemicals added to the salt. It's just
salt.
rock salt, solid salt that they mine from the sea, so.
At
Um,
any time, do you mix the salt with the sand or?
We do mix salt and sand together. Sand, I've attended a lot of. Winter plowing courses, salting courses and stuff this year, along with the crew as well. We've attended a lot of expos, seen a lot of stuff that's out there. Most towns are using brine now, which is an additional chemical. Unfortunately, we don't have the capacity to run our own brine. It would also be a lot more money to
Yeah.
ship in brine for our trucks to use, and we don't have the equipment to be able to distribute brine. Salt and sand mixture, yes, it is appropriate for roads. Sand doesn't necessarily help. Sand doesn't melt salt. But when you have a combination of salt and sand, it melts just as fast as if you just have salt.
Mhm.
We are this year trying to utilize a keystone within the mixture of our salt, sand and mixture. It's supposed to help stick into ice a little bit better, helps traction a lot better as well. We tried it out here first in our town hall parking lot, just to see how it would favor, this. I say storm, but we just had rain, but the last snowstorm we
Yeah.
had, we did distribute. The keystone throughout town, so if you do see, you know, little stones here and there, it was to test to see how it would do. And we're gonna do that continuing throughout the rest of this 2024 winter season, just to see how favorable it is, if it does actually help reduce our salt usage, because that is what I'm focused on, is helping reduce that as much as I can. But unfortunately, right now, I'm only limited to the options of the area. A lot of towns that do use the sand mixture are a lot of southern towns, because they
Yeah,
don't
they
see
don't.
the ice and
Yeah.
the snow that we see, so they have better luck with sand than we do. The Green Snow Program. I did go to a training on this. It's not for municipalities at all.
that's what I wondered. It looked like it was just for commercial,
It is,
but I
it's-
wasn't sure.
And it's not a requirement for them to even participate in. It's
Right.
a fairly new program that they're trying to start up.
Mhm.
I do know that they're working closely with DES to try and get that out there and have people participate in it, but right now it's, you pay money to say that you're reducing your salt usage. And that's all it is, you don't get anything from it other than, yeah, you are reducing your salt usage. So we could participate in it as a town, but it's mainly for commercial and we would just be paying money
Yeah.
to say we're reducing our salt usage, which I am actively trying to do anyways.
Mhm.
So, I do know that there was talks with the person who is now running the Greenstone program, that years down the road, it'll try and be, like a beneficial thing that you would get, I don't want to say money off, but it was like money back and things like that. She was, didn't quite know, because she couldn't say definitively, because she's still working towards it. But that's all the Greenstone program is right now, so.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions or?
I know you're brand new, so this is not,
Yeah,
this
no.
is not, but you know, I look at, well, I guess that's 2010. I look at the usage from 2010 to present, and we don't have any new roads. We're
We do
just
not.
using more salt on them. That's sort of my takeaway from this chart, but
Okay.
I
So
know that we have a bigger
also-
population,
But
but
we also have to think, we saw sidewalks and everything like that. We did just add, you know, a significant amount of pavement to our roads. So that is also inclusive of that. And there's a lot of ADA things with sidewalks and things like that, trying to make sure that they are clear.
Mhm.
But with the influx in the pavement, our salt usage will unfortunately go up this year. A lot more than it did last year, but that, we have to keep that in mind as well.
Maybe types of storms too, maybe we're
Types of
getting more
storms.
ice and more ice events. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
colder, yeah,
Yeah.
freeze thaw, freeze thaw.
Yep.
I think,
Yeah.
weather that long. I'm gonna go back and look and see that. Whether.
Oh, yeah.
But.
That's probably splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have had a lot of developments in town, so. Especially since COVID, a lot more houses and things like that, so we are trying to. Keep them a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Our big concern is the salt by the condo association.
Yeah, it's,
We
that's
also
the
have
individual.
adopted roads as well, over the past few years. We have adopted from private. Private.
Oh,
roads,
yeah.
town roads, that has also. reduced our
Mhm.
costs.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, I have to look at that, what is it, going up Lost Pass, or Moose Run, and then, now Golden Heights as well,
Mhm.
so.
Well, our complaint is with the landscaping.
Probably also
companies.
Yeah.
useful to say that with more people, the expectations are different. When it is a
It-
group of more local people, the expectations of road clearing are less, for sure.
Yes.
And people are more winter ready in the sense
They
of, in the local population.
Mhm.
When you have an influx of people who are from Massachusetts or wherever, they're not gonna be, their
As
expectation is very different
Yeah.
than what people who normally are accustomed to this climate are
Mhm.
used to dealing with.
Maybe we should reset their expectations.
Yeah.
They should use snow tires and
Well, also.
not have to worry about it.
Something that was said in the training course that I've attended is we are on the go society, right?
Yeah.
We don't take time anymore, we have to be there, we have to do this right now. Whereas, you know, years ago it was, oh, we'll get there when we get there, everyone's a little bit slower pace. But now society is, I have to be there, I have to have it.
Yeah, there's no
So-
turning back.
Yeah.
What were you saying, seeing at the condos?
Well, at least our association, uses way too much salt. I mean, if
Oh, yeah.
there are flakes in the air,
It's
they're
ridiculous.
spraying salt on our walk.
Yeah.
And it's the same problem with the people too. You know, the expectations are on sidewalks at these condo associations are crazy. you know, nobody can walk in the snow anymore, they want their feet to get wet, they don't want to, they don't want risk of sliding, you know, it's like, it's a different breed of population than it used to be.
Yeah.
That's-
Sissies, they're all
Is that what you're
sissies.
saying?
Well, they're just, you know, their expectations are different, let's put it that way, in a nice way.
Very nice, neutral, yes. Any other questions for Megan?
No, I really appreciate your
Yes,
write-up. That was,
Yeah,
That's
I
good
mean, if
information.
there's anything else that y'all need, don't hesitate to email, I'm more than welcome to whip something up, go back and look and see what we have done previous or are doing now.
Well, just the fact that you're thinking about trying to reduce the amount that's the first step.
It is, it's important.
yeah,
So that's much appreciated.
Yeah, and it's important.
Does the DOT, they use the heat mixture on the pre-treatment or no?
Uh,
On 49, or is that
not that I'm
most of
aware
that
of,
interstate?
yeah,
Yeah.
out here, no.
Mhm.
Exact same salt that we use.
Yeah.
So
There's
they
something
use
in
a
Canada
lot
a few
more.
years
than
ago.
we
Oh,
do,
yeah,
though,
Yeah.
God, yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
Concern about the amounts.
I got the
Yeah.
film on my windshield.
Yeah.
yeah,
It is.
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, it is really a lot of
Said that they
stuff
put in their
out there,
brine.
a lot of
Yeah.
times. It's
Yeah.
all, I think it's all expectations, unfortunately.
I'll ask him.
Yeah.
It's not on. Questions concerning transfer station, are there any updates? With the transfer station or,
We have a meeting on Thursday, the 21st,
21st.
at 9 AM with the state.
Yeah,
Oh.
figure out what it is we're doing. We had a different meeting with DS about something different on Friday.
Friday, that's.
Yeah,
Right,
too many DS.
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
So,
And the goal of that meeting is to see where the AOC is technically expired. So we want to see, you know, if they're gonna continue it, or if they want to have another site visit and see all the lovely things we've been doing down there to meet the parameters of the AOC that they gave us initially, and to see if we can get that site permitted, or if they're gonna ask us to go up top, or so it's
Okay.
kind of a lot in flux right now.
all right,
And that's, you know, this meeting was just brought on by Mark, who had to initiate again with the state to say, hey, remember us?
yeah,
So hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have some more answers.
so Thursday is another important meeting.
So if we don't use that new space that's up opposite Valley Runoff to Tecumseh for a transfer station that was cleared
yeah.
out of the forest, what would that be used for?
Well, long term, I don't know. I know short term, it would be vital for the continued operations of the wastewater treatment plant, because it has one of the sludge lagoons up there, sludge holding
Right.
lagoons. And if we're unable to continue the use of that lagoon, the alternatives to how we handle our sludge are very expensive. It's, you know, we have some type of equipment that we'd have to bring in, and it all really has to do with the disposal too, where we could bring it. There's plants that used to take sludge, according to Dylan, that are shutting down, you know, pretty frequently right now, and our options aren't very
Oh,
plentiful.
yeah.
So it's drying it, getting it dried so that when you transport it,
It's not as heavy.
transporting it at a, you know, reduced cost, and you know, it's kind of fingers crossed that we're able to use that lagoon until we get the new pipe
Mm-hmm,
built. That's
mm-hmm,
what we're hoping.
save money. Any other,
Mhm.
lots of money, okay, sounds good,
millions.
millions, yeah, yeah. I'm hoping for a beautiful design from B and V that
Yes.
will give us so many new things, like a new town hall, like a new fire department, everything. That's my wish. I just wanted to put it out there,
I like that mention.
like
I
that,
second. Wish.
Yeah.
okay. If there are no more questions, Megan, you're welcome to hang around,
Okay.
okay?
Scintillating.
So I have a little note here of updates on the school forest fire prevention and stewardship. So the message from Kim Rawson, the science teacher, is not much to report right now. There's lots of science curriculum to cover. If this commission wishes to give them some real life tasks or questions, they will accept them. So
Hmm.
you want to think about it. Direct questions to me, I'll pass them along to her or direct them to her. So there's nothing new to report right now. And then connected with that is continued discussion on evacuation plans. The note says Livermore Gates. Someone mentioned that, I don't think it was Livermore Gates. I think it's more like I. There are some gates that are locked. So if the town wanted to evacuate, we have to wait for someone to come with a key and.
The town has the key. Dave told us
The
that.
town has the key?
Yeah,
Who has the key?
Dave Noyes.
Dave Noyes.
He said the town has the key. Yeah.
He has the only key?
I don't know.
So if he happens to be out that day,
I'm sure.
I assume it's kept-
Something-
It's kept at some, at the
right.
town, but I don't.
Which gate are we talking?
It's about
Uh,
a series of gates on.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
only time that's
Four of
locked
them.
is winter and
When
it's a
it's not
ski
drivable.
resort. It's not drivable. You're not
Right.
gonna be able to evacuate that way anyway, so
hmm,
I don't
what's,
know why this is
right.
an issue.
I didn't think it
it was
was,
a question.
no.
It was a question. I have to direct the questions as I get them. So
Sure.
we'll leave that subject for another time. We'll just table it. Is there privilege of the floor?
It's my chance.
I have a little comment to make. I mentioned this to Dylan. I got results of my water test at Tri-Pyramid. Apparently, every place is different. So, this was a test for lead and copper. Totally below the lead action level, so everything was thumbs up. But I also noticed, in the letter below, there are some recommendations that the department makes. And these recommendations are probably common sense to most of us, but I thought perhaps in the next water bill, we could tack something on. And these are the comments. Tips to keep any potential lead and or copper out of the water you drink. Number one, most importantly, flushing your water is the simplest way to reduce exposure to lead or copper. When your water has been sitting for several hours, flush the tap until the water feels cold before use.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think most of
that's
us do that,
That anyway.
but if you think it's a good suggestion to place in the water bill, let's talk about it. Second, never use hot water from the faucet for drinking or cooking, especially when making baby formula. And the third, never boil water to remove lead or copper.
It concentrates.
Well, that makes it worse. Yeah.
Boiling water for an extended time may concentrate these metals. It's common sense for you, it's
Yeah.
common sense for you, but it may not be common sense for everyone.
Well, and not everyone lives here all the time, so
Oh,
if your
they may not
pipes
know.
are, water is sitting in your pipes for
Days
months,
or months.
weeks,
Yeah.
whatever, it might not hurt to remind people to
Okay,
flush it out before they
before
take
they
a drink.
use it, right. And not everyone has filters, Brita or whatever. So what do you think of the suggestion to,
I think it's well intentioned. I think the problem with it is that it could instill some sort of questions, further questions.
Yes,
That could be like,
yes,
are they-
we have to do this, there
or,
must
you know,
be
why are they
something wrong
telling
with
us
our
this? Why
water.
are they, are there lead problems?
Yeah.
Like, why are they saying this? So that's my only
good
concern.
point,
My thought was that
yeah.
Yeah, so
I,
if
I think it's a well-intentioned idea. I think it's
if it
great,
ain't broke, don't fix it, hey?
But
Okay. Jen, agree? We don't. need
Yeah,
to-
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, you're right.
Right. Don't bring attention to something that's not a problem.
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll just go with that. That's what I've been told for years and years and years. Waterville Valley has the best tap water.
it is good.
It is
good.
I
It
think
is
it's
good.
That's great.
delicious. I drink
Great.
a lot of it every day.
Excellent. So,
And we do, just, if I could,
yes,
in April is generally when we send out the consumer confidence report. And I'll take a look at that and see what tips, I think they might provide some tips.
I think they might be
Yeah, I
in
think
there.
there's some on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So April, we usually get that out with the
Okay,
first quarter water bills.
And that's a good place for it,
It
on
is a
that,
good-
because
yeah.
it's that, if you put it on the water bill, then it implies alarm if you put it. on-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but if
So
it's
that's
in
already gonna be generated.
within the
Okay.
report.
thank
yeah.
you for that. Excellent. All right.
What's it
so
called?
The consumer confidence.
Consumer confidence.
In April. So Charles, when we go out and do a site visit, we'll take a look at that new sign. We'll take a look at the potential flooding in the area. We'll take a photo of that and send it to either Jan to,
Oh,
Let's-
news and
let's
views
brag a
or
little bit.
something. Yeah.
let's post it.
And in fact, I had some thoughts on where to put that other small sign
Okay,
at the south end,
all right.
but, we should get other input on this.
Mm.
My thought was, and I was looking for a good tree that would
Yeah.
be suitable to put it on,
Right.
and that is actually, within our property,
Mhm.
as opposed to within the neighbor's property.
Okay.
And I found a good one, but it's set back a ways.
Yeah.
Which is fine by me.
Mm.
And in the winter, if you're looking, you'll see it, but it's not in your face.
Mhm.
And so I kind of liked it, but if
Okay.
we're out there.
Yeah.
Some of us.
Yeah.
I'll point out where I think that might go.
In between the tunnel and then the
Yeah.
other sign, yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
if you go from, from where the big boulder is straight across to the path,
Mhm.
it's about halfway in. And there's really no undergrowth there, so you can actually see in there pretty well. And there's a nice tree about like this, which looks healthy, it's not gonna fall anytime soon.
Yeah.
And that would be a good place to put it. And it just identifies.
Right.
I don't know who's gonna be back there walking, but it just
Mhm.
identifies that that's the southern
Then it
border.
belongs to someone.
So I'll suggest putting a nice colored ribbon around it. Put a ribbon around it, so if I'm there on a day that you're not, I'll know what tree you're talking
And
about.
John comes out with his
Yeah.
handy little drill. Battery
We'll figure
powered
that
drill.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, because we'll be there January 19th anyway. So if we do this before, that'll be good. So I don't know if you were here, Megan, but Rick and Forest Service members will be meeting us January 19th, Friday morning.
For the Snowsbrook.
For the project.
Mitigation.
To
project.
look at the lower part of that, to see
Yeah.
what the
Hmm.
remediation project.
At what time?
We haven't decided, but it'll be in the
Morning.
morning,
Morning,
early, probably.
After some,
8 a.m.
yeah, this one sleeps in.
You guys have to go to bed early the night before.
Yeah. He
All
gets
right.
up, he just sits and reads for hours
do.
before
I read and I
breakfast.
sip coffee.
Okay,
I'm retired.
all right, and one final note, the date of the next meeting. It doesn't have to be, but let's talk about it. I wrote in Wednesday, January 24 at 1 p.m. If you want to push it into February, I'm open to that. We'll be meeting on January 19th.
Will be, yeah, yeah.
What other business, what would we need to conduct that we,
Mhm. Just more updates. They're meeting with the mountain, about that, so we'll get an update on the water. Nothing urgent, you wanna look February, yeah.
So maybe
that's what I thought.
February,
That's what I
yeah.
thought too.
yeah.
Okay, so what is the first? It's the first Wednesday in February. Can reach a calendar first. 7th? How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Wednesday,
looking
February
forward to?
7th at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Excellent.
1 p.m. Fabulous.
So on that note, 1:55 or 1:50, I can't see from here.
150.
150.
1:50.
I move to
I
adjourn.
make, yeah,
Second,
Are we moving or motioning?
Oh, I motion.
all in favor?
I.
Aye.
Thank you